I'm also curious to learn because I also fall in the same age criteria that you have mentioned before. And we, as mentioned, have two good experts, Katpitiya sir and Amol sir. Because Pashin sir and Amol sir, I'll rather quote. And we are going to have a very good.
Passion is good. Passion is good. I have a problem with that word, sir.
So that's the designation that you have earned in your life. So I always an honor
No.
to.
I would like to be known as a normal retail investor or trader and not some Gyani or anything. Yeah.
Okay, not an issue. So we'll stick to Mr. Pashin
Please
and
keep
Mr.
it to
Amol.
Pashin.
Yeah, and Amol.
Yeah, Mr. Amol and Mr. Pashin. So, as I've of course read your bio, sir, I'm so inspired, and I've seen that I'll be starting with Amol, sir. I've seen Amol, sir, has currently has a large amount of investment portfolio, no doubt, but he has always, with his expertise, helped, trained, and of course, guided people around 1,000 investors, as the count says. To employ a large amount of capital or investment in a very good way in mutual funds. So Amol sir, my first question goes to you. Sir, you own and you run a wealth management firm. So how do you see this volatility as the crisis in this time of course, COVID-19? Is volatility an issue for mutual fund right now?
Gaurav, actually, this is a tough time for everyone,
Yeah.
for investors as well as for advisors like us. Okay. But right from the beginning, now, we believe in client education. Okay. Client education is very important. You have to become investor. आपको वो इन्वेस्टर का साइकोलॉजी दिमाग में बिठाना पड़ता है. If you are a good investor, then only you can survive and prosper in this kind of markets. Okay. So client education, investor education is very important. And fortunately, right from the beginning, हम लोग क्लाइंट को यही सिखाते आए हैं कि कैसे मार्केट में आपको बिहेव करना है. फियर एंड ग्रीड, आपको कैसे फियर और ग्रीड को मैनेज करना है. ओके. बेसिक थिंग म्यूचुअल फंड में हम लोग तो पहले से ही सिखाते हैं कि यू आर हियर फॉर लॉन्ग टर्म. ओके. जो भी आपका पैसा है जो आप लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए दे सकते हो, आपके गोल्स फुलफिल करने के लिए दे सकते हो, वही पैसा आप इधर लगाओ. ओके. दिस इज नॉट द प्लेस फॉर शॉर्ट टर्म मनी. अगर आपके पास शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए आपके जो भी गोल्स है उसके लिए फंड्स भी अलग होते हैं. यू कैन यूज लिक्विड फंड, शॉर्ट टर्म बॉन्ड फंड्स, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. लेकिन अगर आपको वेल्थ क्रिएशन करना है, आपके गोल्स फुलफिल करने हैं, तो आपको मार्केट के हर एक साइकिल से जाना पड़ेगा. आप जब मार्केट के पूरे साइकिल से जाओगे तभी आपको दिखाई देगा कि आपका पोर्टफोलियो अच्छी तरह से काम कर रहा है. Upside cycle is important, and even downside cycle is also very important.
This, of course.
Okay.
To elaborate something more. Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I would like to shift to Mr. Pashin on the same perspective. Pashin, sir, I just wanted to know, you must have seen such drops in equity market in the financial condition, not only in India, but across the world. So how do we respond to this scenario, and what is the sustainability decision or strategy that you would suggest? Also, is it the good time to invest because the prices are very low right now in the market? So what would you suggest about this scenario?
Sure. So first and foremost, we have to realize that it's not a crisis for everybody. Okay, it's a crisis for people who have not been able to exit their investments at the right time. Now, because we used the algo-based system, we got indicators in late January that it's time that the markets are looking weak. And initially, at that point of time, we thought that it's got to do something with the the macroeconomic situation in the country. It is only later in March that we knew that the actual reason for the global markets to crash is Corona.
Right.
But as I said, it's not a crisis for everybody. So if you are stuck with your investments, it is a crisis for you. But if you are a smart investor, if you're a smart trader, you have exited at the right time, then this is an opportunity for you. So even for those who have never invested in the stock market, like you pointed out, that you have to take advantage of situations like this. And I'm not saying put all your money now in the market. but start deploying your money in 2 or 3 parts or 4 parts, and take advantage of the price action that is happening. So my 2 cents is that if as an investor, if you are stuck, then you need to take stock of where you stand, and what really you can do about it, because it's not that this is over. Let me make it clear, it's not that this is over. We may see further downside in the market, and if that happens, then what do you do as an investor? As a smart trader, as a smart investor, like most of our users are actually using this as a good trading opportunity. So you really need to, first you need to know who you are, whether you are an investor, whether you are a trader. If you are an investor, what kind of investor you are. Are you a low risk guy? Are you a high risk person? If you are a trader, do you like short term? Do you like positional? So it's all it's not a simple yes and no for everybody, because something that applies to me may not necessarily apply to everybody else. So you really need to identify yourself first. And one of the reasons, as soon as the lockdown was announced, we made all our the app and everything free. We started conducting online courses, so that people could understand themselves. They could understand their capital and their risk appetite before they thought of investing. Because what normally happens is, no sooner the market starts to correct itself, people start getting excited and they start getting reactive. Like today, people want to invest in gold. People want to, invest in crude, because crude has dropped. But that's not the way to go about it. You really need a lot of planning before that. And we have a lot of free resources on YouTube. So a lot people can go to our YouTube channel, Shashwa, and you can learn a lot about investing and trading. Over to you, Gaurav.
Very good to go, because digitally everyone has been very very pleasured, and at the same time they are active enough to invest in of course mutual fund as well as the stock market. And I have been popping up with many questions in the chat section. We have also audience, if you are interactive, we have been simultaneously putting a poll for you guys, where you can vote for any priority or any option that you would like to opt for according to the question. And of course, your question in the chat box will be answered, and of course put forward towards the judges. And judges, I may say, because you guys are the experts, so you will judge us better, the market better, and the scenario better. But yeah, Mr. Amol, moving on to you. Since we are, of course, on the same perspective, as we see a decrement in the mutual fund NAVs, so what would you suggest in this scenario? Is it good time to invest? If a beginner or fresher wants to put an SIP or a lump sum investment, what would you suggest for mutual funds in this scenario in terms of falling NAV?
Yes, Gaurav. Actually, I'll say that this is the best time to start the investment for fresh investors. And for old investors, you should average your investments. Okay, you should top up your funds. You should top up and gather more number of units. You can say जैसे मॉल में सेल लगता है, okay, तो 1000 रुपए की जो भी चीज है, you can get it for 500 rupees, 600 rupees, like that. आप इन्वेस्टर को ये समझना चाहिए कि this is a kind of sale in the stock market, okay. So you can purchase more, you can get more number of units, okay, and this is the proper time to average your portfolio and start new investments.
Right.
Okay, लेकिन while investing, okay, आपको ये भी ध्यान में रखना है कि as the sir Wasim sir rightly said कि the problem is not over yet, okay. So अब जो भी आपके पास investment के लिए पैसे है, okay, you should not deploy all the money at one go, okay. You should deploy partly. आप थोड़ा आज डालो, थोड़ा परसों डालो. At every fall, you should invest little money, okay. Averaging करते जाओ. मैं एक चीज बोलना चाहता हूँ कि मंदी के जो यूनिट्स है, okay, मंदी के जो यूनिट्स होते हैं, those are very special units. आपको ये पता चलेगा 2 साल बाद, 3 साल बाद कि जो इन्वेस्टमेंट आपने आज की है, ओके, उसके फ्रूट्स क्या है. तो अभी आपको दिस इज द करेक्ट टाइम टू स्टार्ट SIPs. दिस इज द एक्यूमुलेशन फेज. Don't look at your valuation reports. Instead, look at the column of units. How much units you are gathering. You can say this is a unit accumulation phase and go ahead. Okay, over to you, Gaurav.
Great, sir. Great to know about this perspective in terms of mutual fund. And sir, before moving ahead with my questions, I have some questions from the chat section that I would like to read for you. First, whosoever it relates to Mr. Pashin or Mr. Amol, we can share the answers for the same.
Sure.
The very first, I wouldn't name the participant because they have asked not to name, so I would hide the names of course. But I would like to put the question. The question was like this. Uh, as pharma index is trading to its 52-week high, people have started giving call on pharma stocks. Also, I may say about FMCG stocks. So, is it safe to enter now, or else we should look at other index such as the Bank Nifty, which has highly corrected? What would your opinion be, Mr. Pashin, on this?
You shouldn't do either of them. I would frankly say, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
First is whenever you invest, you have to anticipate market moves and you have to take your position accordingly. You cannot afford to react to a correction or to a jump in a particular sector. So today, just because pharma is touching a 52-week high does not mean that you invest in pharma. And today, because Bank Nifty has corrected 20-30% does not mean that you invest in the Bank Nifty. See, today we have to understand that for a retail investor, you are looking for maybe 5 or 10 stocks maximum for your portfolio. And out of 1700 stocks that are there in the NSE, your job is to pick those 5 or 10 which suit your profile and can give you compounding returns. So my first suggestion is, first and foremost, never ever react to market movements. Always anticipate them and position yourself in advance. And secondly, today you have so many, just like Shaspa. I would like to say that Shaspa is not the only one, but you have so many systems that are driven by AI and algorithms that most of the analysis is available to you online without really taking the pain of analysis on yourself. Because otherwise, if you go to analyze each and every company, your lifetime will probably be spent just trying to analyze. And third is when it comes to investing and trading, we see a lot of people taking advice. And frankly, I am personally of the opinion that if you have to take somebody's advice with regards to trading or investing, then you should not be trading or investing. Because most of the things, what happens is we follow the herd mentality. Because my colleague is investing in mutual fund, I will invest in mutual fund. Because he bought XYZ fund, I will buy XYZ fund. Because he bought ABC stock, I will buy ABC stock. But really here the point is, you have to, like I always tell our members, that you spend 10 hours a day earning money. Spend 10 minutes a day trying to see where that earned money is going and how best that money can work for you. Yeah, over to you, Gaurav.
Very justified, and of course, I would agree with the same on the same note. But yeah, sticking to Mr. Amol, we have few more questions coming from the chat section, and also a question that I have framed for you. That very recently, a few days before, we saw that a very big, grand, and a very humongous company, Frankfin, has of course shut down their debt schemes over here. So if we look at the long-term perspective, is the mutual fund market shivering because of this, or is there any con that we are going to face? Is there a panic in selling of mutual fund? What would you suggest on this? And also your long-term investment strategy. There was a good question in this sense, so I would like to quote ahead of this. Yeah, over to you.
Yeah, Gaurav, regarding Franklin, what has happened only with debt schemes, and that too 6 debt schemes. The problem was there was redemption pressure in the month of May due to this pandemic. In the month of May, April, there was huge redemption pressure. Okay, everyone wanted money back. because this is supposed to be a liquid money debt fund, and mostly institutional investors, they invest in this. Okay, so there was huge redemption pressures, and due to pandemic conditions, it was difficult to sell them their holdings. Okay, as liquidity in the debt market was not there, so they were not able to sell their holdings, and that's why they had to take this step. As far as my study goes, that's why they have taken this step. Otherwise what would have happened, अगर वो वैसे ही कंटिन्यू करते थे, तो
जी
उनको वो जो उनके पास पेपर्स है, जो भी होल्डिंग्स है, वो उन रिडम्पशन प्रेशर की वजह से उनको बेचने पड़ते थे एट एनी कॉस्ट. ओके, सो दैट वुड हैव affected in NAV erosion of the fund heavily. Okay, so
yeah
to prevent that, okay, in the best you can say इन्वेस्टर को सपोर्ट करने के लिए उन्होंने ये डिसीजन लिया है कि स्टॉप दिस 6 फंड्स फॉर टेम्पररी. Or as liquidity comes back in the market, in bond market, okay, they will be selling those papers, those holdings, and they will be returning that money back. And government has also reacted very positively to this situation. They have immediately supported the industry with 50,000 crore package. Okay, and
okay
that has boosted sentiments of investors also. You can see immediately the market reacted and rallied 500 to 600 points that day. Okay, over to you.
uh, well, sir, thank you for your analysis. Of course, government has projected 50,000, of course, crore in this scenario, and of course, leading to the sentiments of people. And looking at of course, we cannot ignore the dead cat bounce that's happening in Nifty or Sensex that you may say, which is hampering when you see the market suddenly crashes to 7,500 in terms of Nifty and suddenly bounces back to 9,500. So this is a temporary sukh that you may say. But yeah, sticking to the questions over here, there was a good question from one of the person who has joined in this session. What is the right time to gain from investment? What is the technical interpretation of long term in relation to number of years in terms of this? So if we switch to the investment gain and long term perspective, is this the right time or we need to wait?
Is that for me?
Either of you can answer. Ashin sir,
Okay, so Amolji was answering. So Amolji, please.
Yeah, Amolji.
Actually, now, Gaurav, I'll say that when you are investing in mutual funds, you should always be there for long term. Okay, and long term basically starts from 5 years plus. Okay, for equity funds. And I'll say that when you are investing, you should do goal-based investment. Okay, you should attach your goals to your investments. Okay, so say like retirement, like children education. Okay, you should attach your goal to your investment. Suppose you are investing for your retirement. Okay, then right
Okay.
time for your investment to redeem is your retirement. Okay, so if your retirement is after 20 years, you don't have to panic in this situation because your goal is too far. You can in fact use this
Yes.
condition to accumulate units and create wealth. Okay, so if you connect your goals to your investment, I think it will be better for the investors to go through these conditions. Okay, and basically I'll suggest that asset allocation here is also very important. Okay, what I mean to say is if you have 100 rupees, okay, don't put all 100 rupees, okay, into equity funds. Put some money in balance fund, put some money in say liquid fund for your very near goals. Okay. Like that, you have to make asset allocation and you have to stick to that asset allocation throughout your journey. Okay.
Right, right.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, of course, I had a question framed ahead in terms of mutual fund, but you answered it right now on the moment, because I wanted to ask something about the portfolio mix. May it be your proportion towards large cap funds, mid cap funds, or small cap funds. I believe everyone has got their answer how to manage your liquidity in terms of balance funds and all the mid cap or large cap funds that you want to maintain in your portfolio. Now I would like to switch to Mr. Pashin for a very good question, of course, coming from the audience before I quote my question, sir. Mr. Pashin, there was a good question coming up in the chat section. Of course, thinking from a new investor's point of view, okay, a very fresher person who wants to invest, he or she doesn't have knowledge, but they are very keen because looking at the market, and of course, since everyone has a pause on their income sources for the time being because of non-operating businesses or their work job places. Many people are keen and attracted towards this market, the stock market. And some people have quoted questions that if I am entering the stock market, do you think I should invest in a big, giant automobile industry like Bajaj Finance or a financial sector of Bajaj, or at the same time FMCG? Or medical healthcare or any hospital services, are these category or these funds the best time to get invested into right now?
So my response is, what is the objective of investing? And like Mr. Amol said, that you need to set your goal very clearly. And very frankly, you don't need to look for sectors. You need to do, as I said, you need specific stocks. You need 5-10 stocks. So don't try waste your time on identifying indices and sectors and industry multiples and things like that. Look for 5 or 10 stocks that from now on are slated to outperform every other stock in the market. So that can help you achieve your goals. And we had one question before that about investment horizon. So in Shasva, we have 7 different horizons. We have a horizon for a day trader. We have horizon for a swing trader. We have horizon for a positional trader who takes a trade for 1 to 3 months. But anything that is beyond 18 months, we call it long-term investing. And, that is where people show a lot of patience, a lot of, I would say a lot of positivity when it comes to investing. But at the same time, even if you are a long-term investor, one thing to keep in mind is you can afford to enter the stock market at the wrong time, but you cannot afford to exit the stock market at the wrong time. That is something you have to, remember. Don't think that the big names in the industry don't ever sell their stocks. No, they do. Time and again, they shift their portfolio, they consolidate their portfolio, they get rid of the black sheep. Like somebody pointed out that there was one of these mutual funds which has entered into an issue. So there are always black sheep in the mutual fund industry and in the stock market. So always tend to stay away from the black sheep. Look for 5 or 10 stocks that can help you propel your wealth from maybe a few lakhs to a few crores in the next 5-10 years. So that's the ultimate goal, I think, for everybody. And if you have never invested, if you are just starting to invest now, best opportunity of your lifetime. Put the money where the mouth is. I am sure a lot of people are thinking, I don't have money. Maybe your family member has. Maybe you can work out something with them. But take advantage of this opportunity. I am not saying over leverage and sell your house and buy stocks. But whatever you can, like we suggest in our trainings, which you can view on YouTube. We suggest in our trainings that after cutting all your necessary expenses, whatever amount you are left with, 30% of that should go to stocks, because truly the stock market is the the epitome of wealth creation, and it has always been. So I think that way investing at this time is the right thing. So don't look for industries and sectors, and look for those 5-10 specific stocks. There is a lot to do. And as I said, you have free resources. You have algorithm driven systems, you have machine learning driven systems which are available free online today. What more do you want? Somebody else is already doing the job for you.
Yes.
आपको बैठ के एक एक बैलेंस शीट नहीं देखना है.
नहीं देखना है.
Yeah.
Well, the question has been answered. There was a question by Mr. Kishore Pandit over here that do you think the time for algorithms and artificial intelligence is here, and whether you suggest that it's time to switch to machine? So the answer has been given to you, I believe.
I would just to add to that, I would say it is not only here. It is just about a matter of time before people accept that it is already here. It is already here. Most of the trading that happens today on most of the major exchanges in the world happens through algo analysis and trading. So the time for for just to give you an example, at Shaspa we do 8,500 calculations on one stock every day. Can you imagine replacing that with a human? 8,500 calculations per stock every day. So, the time for human intervention is gone. It's already on to the machines. It's just that we have to accept it and move on. Yeah, over to you, Gaurav.
Okay, sir. Perfect. Sir, before moving to Mr. Amol, there's one more question has been quoted. It has been quoted in the chat section. For a fresher, as I'm talking, so what are the factors or the indicators that you would like to suggest them if they want to prioritize that 5 to 10 stocks in the list so as to invest in the market right now, if they are very eager to do that and since they have some savings?
Gaurav, you said regarding stocks something.
No, yeah, Mr. Pashin, because I just wanted to shift to you the next question that I had. So just I wanted to clarify with Mr. Pashin, as he said, that if you have some query or if you are looking forward, if you are prone to invest right now, so what are the factors and indicators that you should consider when you prioritize those 5 to 10 stocks? If as a fresher you want to invest and if you have savings, then you have to put into that.
So you can, coming back to Shaspa, and that is because we use the system so often. You can scan for stocks with a 3-month horizon, 1-year horizon, 3-year horizon, 5-year horizon, and with just one click, you will have the results in front of you. But if you want to do it manually, then identify sectors that are going to rebound. Look for companies that have cash on their books. And then if you want to time entry, you need to time the entry and exit in that, then you can use online tools to do that.
Okay, fine. Noted, sir. Well, exactly the point that I wanted to know, because as an investor, even I need some clarifications. So at the same time, Mr. Amol, I'd like to ask you something regarding the same. In terms of mutual fund, what are the indicators for playing safe for a very fresher investor who wants to do an SIP? What are the indicators and what are the best mutual funds that you would like to suggest our investors, being a wealth management fund advisor?
For fresh investors, I'll say that SIP is the best option and the best tool we can have right now. Okay. Basically now, you can start with any amount. Okay. It starts with as low as 1,000 rupees per month. Okay. And you can start 1,000 rupees of SIP minimum amount in any fund. Okay. You can choose your date according to your salary or whatever. Then it goes through ECS, so no need of any tracking whether you have invested this month or not. Okay, so you can fix one date, say you have taken 15th of every month, then by default that money will go from your account, from your saving account, your bank account to that fund. Okay, and while when I am suggesting SIPs to new investor, I'll say that first you think why you are investing in mutual funds. Okay, you have, as I said before also, you try to attach your goals to your SIPs. Okay, for long-term goals, you can go for small cap funds, mid cap funds. For your short-term goals, You can go for large cap funds. Okay. If you can check the record, तो हमें ऐसे दिखता है कि किसी में से इन लास्ट ईयर अगर लार्ज कैप फंड्स ने अच्छा किया है तो उसके पहले का जो ईयर है दैट वाज मिड कैप का रैली उसमें था, कभी स्मॉल कैप का रैली था. तो आई विल से दैट व्हेन यू आर मेकिंग योर पोर्टफोलियो you should have all funds in your basket. Okay, you should have large cap fund, you should have balanced fund, you should have mid cap fund, and you should have small cap fund as per your tenure. Okay, for short term goals you can go for large cap funds, diversified fund, and for long term goals you can choose any good small cap fund or mid cap fund. Okay, Gaurav.
Fine, sir. So yeah, being playing safe and switching to SIPs or mutual fund, looking at our asset management for an expert, yeah, you can opt for, as asked in the chat section. I would now like to switch to Mr. Pashin for further questions and a topic that has been trending a lot. Of course, mutually trending with some other topic. So, Mr. Pashin, over to you for this. There's a good question that I wanted to ask. Of course, I would like to modify that question now. Because as you said, people are looking at the notional losses that are bearing, but ignoring the actual losses or actual profit that they can gain if they stay invested, right? So, sir, if I switch to the commodity market, the commodity market has been one of the favorites, even the future markets. So in terms of future or commodity market, what do you think is the balance between gold and equities? We generally see that gold, if the rates or prices are increasing, equity, of course, goes on the lower at the crisis section. So how do you see the balance between a commodity market and equity market in terms of, yes, gold or oil?
There is no doubt that that whenever there is a crisis looming in the equity markets, investors find solace in the commodity market, especially things like gold, silver, and those kind of instruments, especially the metal commodities. But here you have to remember that these are investors with big pockets who don't want their money to stay idle. So once they withdraw their money or they do partial selling in the stock markets, they don't want to keep that money idle, and hence they deploy it in the commodity market for a short term. So it's really not a long term thing. If you want to do gold investing is a real long term game, and it has to be done consistently if you want to make the best of it. Otherwise, just because the stock market is in a problem and you have suddenly discovered your new avatar of being a commodities trader, then I would not suggest. Again, that would be, as I said earlier, it would be a reaction to a movement. So that is something that I would suggest people to stay away from. See, here no doubt prices are at low, but here the point is you have to find a balance between price, value, and risk. Those are the three, I would say, the fundamentals of picking a stock. Just because the price is low does not mean that you go and buy. You have to see what value it offers, what value it adds to your portfolio, and then at the same time, what is the risk that you are undertaking just to be have that stock as a part of your portfolio. So just because commodities futures is doing well does not mean you jump. You have to identify yourself. Are you a trader or an investor? If you're not a trader, then you should not be trading in futures and commodities market. Gold investing, as I said, for a long term is a separate issue altogether. It is a separate investment.
Okay. Yes, of course. If someone is a speculator or a risk taker, then of course they can switch to futures and contracts at the same time, derivatives or commodity. As we can see, ETF, as it says, it is a combination of stocks, futures, and commodities. So, what would you like to quote or say about gold ETFs? Is it good to go with right now?
So, just like I said, sorry, was that for me or? Okay.
Yeah. To Mr. Pashin. Before I complete, yeah.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. So, as far as ETFs are concerned, even with gold ETF, as I said, just don't do it as a reaction to stock market correction. Do it with a specific goal of doing something in commodities. And then when you switch to commodities, there are many other commodities that offer even better returns. In fact, the agri commodities in India have done so well. So if you are really a commodity trader, then you should be looking at agri commodity, because like I personally know, I don't trade commodities, but I personally know thousands of our users have used commodities as a tool, because we do offer commodities, currencies, everything. So I know a lot of them are very happy trading commodities. In fact, they have stopped trading stocks. So it all depends what your outlook is. Yeah, over to you, Amolji. Sorry.
No, I would like to add something here. For fresh investors, what is ETF? ETF is nothing but exchange traded funds. Okay. Just like you purchase stocks, you buy ETF. Okay. The only difference is, suppose you are talking about gold ETF. Okay. Then for gold ETF, to purchase ETF, DMAT is compulsory. Okay. You have to have DMAT for ETF. Okay. And one more thing, SIP is not allowed in ETF. Okay. These are the two differences. Whereas if you go for mutual fund, you have gold funds as an option, where you have SIP, and also DMAT is not compulsory in mutual funds. Okay. That is the only difference I can say.
Well, yeah, like, of course, as you said, very justifiable. But there was a very good question, of course, quoted over here, that if you think SIP and mutual fund is always good to go, then why is government in a need to invest 50,000 crores on a mark? Why there was a need to do that?
See, this is basically because of debt market, not equity market. Debt market is not matured that much in India. Okay. So the liquidity in debt market is a little bit less as compared to equity market. And to solve the problem of redemption pressure and to protect the interest of common investors, uh, government has taken this step. Gaurav.
Yeah, sir. I totally agree. Of course, the debt market is something which hampers. Well, switching on to the next question for you, Amol, sir. What do you think this COVID-19 has made or has, of course, set a mark on our mindsets to realize that making emergency funds is the best option that you would have had, and many people lack to do that. So, how do you think wealth management, as a wealth management expert, how do you think making an emergency fund is a relevant move to do for any investor initially or after, of course, some maturity in market?
Good question, Gaurav, because most of the investors, hmm, they don't
Yeah.
have that emergency fund. Okay, even though we always tell them, okay, you should have at least 4 to 6 months money, huh? Your requirement of 4 to 6 months in liquid funds. Okay, and that is I think very, very, very important, because if something wrong goes, then you have your liquid fund at your disposal. Okay, you can redeem from your liquid fund, and then you can carry on your day-to-day expenses. Otherwise, what happens, your long-term investments, they get hampered. Otherwise, what investor will do? He will redeem money from his long-term investments. He will redeem money from his goals. Okay. So to protect that investment also, everyone should have and must have a corpus in liquid fund, at least to survive for 4 to 6 months. And that you can create anytime. If not right now, okay, you can create it side by side. You can go on creating it side by side. But you must have, Gaurav.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your advice, and at the same time, the justification that you have given. Now, I just wanted to switch a question to Mr. Pashin, as of course said by one of the uh, viewers. Mr. Pashin, before starting and quoting my question, I just wanted to ask how Shaspa can help us identify the good stock and entries and exit, if we talk in terms of your software?
So currently, Shaspa is free up to 25th of May. You can use all the features of Shaspa. That apart, first thing is I would suggest go to YouTube, look for Shaspa. We have a complete 14 session long video on investing and trading in English. We have about 10-11 sessions in Hindi on trading and investing. So before you even look for stocks, first thing is I would suggest very strongly learn the basics. Revisit the rules, because it's very easy to get lost and get influenced by the market. So get yourself trained first. Having a nice machine gun with you can only be helpful if you know how to operate it.
Okay. So yeah, you guys can go and access on YouTube, and of course by Play Store you can download this app and know more about it. So sir, of course, switching to the same question that I had before, and I would like to put it again once again. Uh, Thinking about the new and fresh investors, and also about the passive investors who have been into market since a long duration now. I asked you something about the FMCG or the pharma companies, which are booming with their share prices, which are always good to go right now. But if we think from an investor's perspective, more people are prone or keen to be a short-term investor than to be a long-term investor. Looking at the condition, of course, COVID-19 has no predictability ahead. So what would you suggest? Is pharma always a good to go option for long term as well, or is it just a temporary sook that we have right now?
Well, before everybody else gets too excited about pharma, let me remind you that pharma has come out of a 3 or 4 year period of consolidation and correction. So the best performing company in the market today, Reliance, was not moving from 2009 to 2014. So you really have to take these things into account. Just because one sector has started running now, please don't get swayed and start pumping your money into pharma. And just because investors typically, they either run behind stocks that have already gone too high, or they try to catch a falling knife. So they try to pick stocks which are continuously correcting, and both are very, very severe mistakes. Both can land you in a lot of trouble if you enter the stock at the wrong time. Because once you enter at the wrong time, then you have to plan your exit in such a way that no matter your entry was wrong, but the exit has to be correct. So I would not there are pharma stocks on our list also. We are actively trading them, but it's not that just because because of the COVID situation, pharma companies are going to make a lot of money. No, I don't think so. And pharma is not about just COVID and pandemic. There existed a pharma industry before the pandemic, and there will exist a pharma industry after the pandemic. So currently, the actual pharma industry, I would say, has been completely disrupted because of the pandemic. And whatever run you are seeing is the growth that would probably happen on account of the pandemic. So reaction, I would again suggest, please don't react. There are companies that you can buy, that you can trade for the short term, long term. But just because the sector is going up does not mean that you should go out and buy.
So there's a very good saying, stitch in time saves 9. So as you said, of course, you should keep accountability of what you are doing on time before you regret about it. So cool.
Yes.
There's a good question for Shaspa. Someone asked. So I would like to clear, if you guys want to have a free link for, of course, to operate Shaspa, we'll be having a feedback form. We do have a feedback form after this session. You can fill that and you can get a free link of how to register on Shaspa and start with your daily routine trading so as to learn more. And there was a question, a last question in this sequence for Mr. Pashin before I switch to Mr. Amol. Mr. Pashin, as you said, your software works on more than 8,000 parameters on one stock. So looking at the conviction, how can we rely on the compatibility of a machine so much that we just do things as per they say?
One simple answer to that is the machine runs without emotions and humans run with emotions. And if you look back at the great failures of big traders, big investors, they were not because they did not follow rules or they did not follow strategies. it was because they got emotional about exiting, or emotional about taking that hard decision when the time was there. So that's my 2 cents on it, very simply put.
Right. I actually would go with the flow because, as you said, emotions are something, sentiments are something that COVID-19 has taught us right now to be into. But never mind, don't be emotional, be smart with what you invest into. And now I would like to switch to Mr. Amol. I had a good question, a very recent and trending question. This is something that, of course, everyone is curious to know. And since you guys are more prone to digital aspects, we know that Facebook and Reliance have joined hands by around 9.99% of investment that Facebook has done into Reliance. So, Mr. Amol, how do you look into this perspective now? Is it just a temporary surge that we are seeing, or is it a long-term bond? While in terms of Geo growing, in terms of Geo Marts coming, and all the groceries and all the small settlements or the MSMEs are getting helped using this. What do you think about this perspective in terms of share market or in terms of mutual fund?
See, Gaurav, I'll say that this is a very good sign actually. Okay. Uh, a company like Facebook is entering in India with Reliance. Okay. That is a very good sign. And I think in coming days, many more companies will come like this only. Okay. Because there is a big potential in India. Okay. The best part is we have huge number of young people, okay, and the consumption in India is huge, okay. So all the people are looking at India from consumption point of view, because see, when you have a group of young people in country, okay, तो उनको कल कार लगने वाली है, उनको घर लगने वाला है, उनको क्लोथिंग लगने वाला है, ब्रांडेड कपड़े लगने वाले हैं, शूज लगने वाले हैं. So there is a huge market in India, and the world is looking at India for this opportunity. So I think after Facebook, many more are yet to come. Gaurav.
Yeah, like from a blue chip perspective, large cap funds, how do you see this?
See, large cap funds will rally first, okay? Whenever market goes down, okay?
Yeah.
Large cap funds, they rally first. But you can see from the history that if you want to build your wealth, okay, the wealth is created by mid cap and small cap funds, okay? Though the pain in small cap and mid cap is a little bit higher, okay, but you have to go through it, okay, to create wealth, okay. So in long term, mid cap, small caps will always outperform large cap funds. But yes, large cap will rally first. Yes, Gaurav.
Yeah, because large cap, of course, they don't only pretend, they actually lead to the market in a very positive sign.
Yes.
As we can see, always large caps are always good to go from my perspective. Well, I have another good question in terms of this flow. As we have discussed about an indicator known as PE ratio. PE ratio is something we know very nicely. So PE ratio ke perspective say, looking at this indicator, if a PE ratio is suppose 25 or 26, people think it is a good to go buy. But when the PE ratio falls to 12 or 13, people still depend on PE ratio as an indicator. Do you think PE ratio is the right indicator to invest in certain shares or certain market, or there are other indicators which circulate around it which actually dominates PE ratio so as to enter in this market?
Pasin sir, please go.
Oh, that was for me. I'm sorry. I thought you were continuing with Amol.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So we need to understand a few things here, and I'll just take maybe a couple of minutes more to understand where all this is coming from. See, when you talk of PE ratio, is probably something that would come at the fourth or the fifth level of fundamental analysis. Okay. At
Right.
first, what we have is the geopolitical scenario, followed by the macroeconomic scenario, followed by the industry or the sector scenario, followed by the company, and then from the company results is the PE ratio is derived. Okay. We have to understand that today the problem is not with the ratio or the company. The problem is not with the industry. The problem is not with the the competition. The problem is at the geopolitical level and at the macroeconomic level. So the geopolitical situation is not just about coronavirus. The geopolitical situation also has actions that will follow coronavirus. You know,
Yes.
uh,
Right.
it would be foolish for us to think that countries have lost lakhs of people uh, uh, to this pandemic and they are just going to sit tight and do nothing about it. So there is going to be a backlash that may come. There is going to be reaction that may come. So that is going to affect the macroeconomic scenario. That will affect the industry and then the company. So just because one ratio becomes favorable, I would not say. I would rather say that rather than looking at price to earnings ratio, look at price and volume. Okay, because price and volume are the ultimate indicators because they are facts. Okay, and as
Right.
far as PE is concerned, it is whatever is reported and checked by the auditors. And in many cases, like I would not like to take specific names, but in the recent past, you have seen that many such scenarios, what is mentioned in the balance sheet and what is actually on paper only comes up once the enforcement directorate
Yeah.
gets involved. And here I would like to point out to the Facebook and Reliance deal happening. And like Amolji said, he was very apt in saying that there are many such deals that will happen. Because, I have personally always believe, again, this is my personal opinion,
Yes,
that
sir.
when it comes to economics, our present government is a failure. But when it comes to foreign relations, they are first in the world. And luckily, because of this pandemic, what is happening is there is a global image that is being created, which is that China gave the virus and India gave the medicine for that virus. And because of the foreign relations that we have had, India will be the alternative to China in the coming decade, and that itself is a big opportunity for us. Over to you, Gaurav.
Well, in that terms, I would suggest that hydrochloroquine is the best investment that anyone can do
No,
right
no,
now.
no. No, no.
Okay. Well, yeah, just kidding. Yeah, of course, we are going to come very close to the end of this session, and we have some good questions coming up as well.
Sure.
So, of course, Mr. Pashin, I would like to add on something to this, and I would like to ask something more. Looking at this epidemic, how do you compare the 1930, that is 1930 का crisis versus 2008
Hmm.
versus 2020? And do you think India is well prepared now after this COVID-19 pandemic is over to build a very healthy infrastructure of hospitals or healthcare system in our country? Then how will it impact the pharmaceutical sector and also the healthcare sector? What do you think about that?
See, very frankly, I don't agree to this notion that India does not have good healthcare. I personally believe that India has the best healthcare system, one of the best healthcare systems in the world, because we have to serve 130 crore people. It's not that our population is 5 million and 50 million that we can provide, top grade healthcare to everybody. Okay. So here, you access to doctors, access to clinics, access to specialists, everything is so well available. And as a country, we are far better than we were in 1930, or we were in 2008, or we are now currently in 2020. We are in the best scenario. One thing we have to remember is that in 1930, the gold standard was prevalent for money. Okay, which is not the case in 2008 and 2020. We have already moved on to the fiat currencies, and you can see RBI coming out with 50,000 crore, government coming out with 1,75,000 crore. All that money is going to come just because the government can print it. US is going to pump in $3 trillion just because they can print it and pump it into the system. So the scenario is very different. We were already under, a foreign rule, in 1930, because of which India itself lost a big part of its population. And I believe that we should look at this as an opportunity. Indians by nature are going to become much cleaner, much more hygienic as far as that has been one of our weaknesses. We have always been a little, unhygienic, especially when it comes to the community. घर सबका साफ है, घर के बाहर कचरा है. So that is going to change. And today we are the country which has the largest population under 35. And you imagine this population making 30, 40, 50,000 rupees a month and then investing that money. Today we have, with mutual funds and stocks, we have less than 6% of the population investing in these markets. The potential is huge. The growth potential in India, I think India is the place to be for the next 10 years. Yeah. Over to you, Gaurav.
Well, speaking from the financial perspective and also the health-oriented perspective, India is the safest place across the world that I think to be in. And sir, before, of course, as I said, we are coming to the close of this session. Amol, sir, I would like to ask you something which is out of the box, but I am also very curious to know, and many people are. If we see at the crude oil scenario right now, as we have seen the crash in the supply and demand curve in terms of crude oil, it is playing a very major role. Many benchmarks and various reserves which were made for them are suffering. So what would you think about entering into a crude oil future contract that many people used to do on a day-to-day basis, looking at the market? They are, of course, stopping themselves from entering into future contracts. And how relevant is it with the crypto world, the cryptocurrency world? Would you like to quote something for that?
Gaurav, crude and future contract is, I think, Pasin sir's territory. Right, sir?
No. I have no territory. I have no marked territory. I am just an average investor.
I just wanted to know both of your perspectives, sir, and Pasin sir, on this topic before I end the session, because this is something which is trending right now. Everyone is curious to know more about how to get into oil, because, of course, the supply has been barred right now because of lower demand and the crash in the market in terms of oil, but people know it has a good market. Future contracts are something that fetches you a lot in terms of intraday, if you say. So what would you suggest for a crude oil perspective investor?
You want me to take that?
Yeah, totally. No issues. Either or.
Okay. So day trading is only for a select few. Just because money can be made in day trading does not mean that you should do day trading. Secondly, one thing you have to remember is that the volatility is almost at its highest. So if you are caught in the wrong trade, I often tell people that when you invest or when you trade, look at the downside first and then look at the target. So if you are caught in the wrong side of the trade in crude or anything, like we know that crude went to minus $40. So with every barrel of crude that you bought, you would get $40. So if you...
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I believe I was... Yeah, sorry. So if you get caught on the wrong side of it, then it could be a dangerous scenario. So learn, train yourself, and then think about day trading and things like that. Not that I love day trading. I personally like it, but that does not mean that you should do it.
Yeah, very, very justifiable because, I am someone who is always interested to know that. So, clarified with that perspective as well. Amol, sir, in this scenario right now, as we have discussed, I want you to specify some specific bets in the market right now in terms of mutual fund. What are the safest and the specific bets you would like to opt for in mutual fund market right
now? Gaurav, I'll say don't go on today's conditions, okay? Think of long term, okay? There is nothing like safety in this field, okay? But still, if you are here for more than 5 years, everything is good, okay? You should have your basket, mixed basket with asset allocation, you should have large cap fund, you should have diversified fund, you should have small cap, mid cap funds, okay, as per your appetite, as per your risk appetite, okay, and that will help you a lot, okay. Forget about today's condition. This condition will probably end in few months, okay, but investing will go on and on, okay. So you have to prepare your own basket of different funds as per your risk appetite, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Of course, knowing your risk appetite is the most important and key indicator of your basket. Thank you for this opinion, sir. And Pachin, sir, the same question goes to you. What are your top picks or bets? Looking at the dead cat bounce that's happening in market right now on a very volatile manner, and also we have some tech and automobile industry who have loads of inventory stored in their warehouses, but they don't have supply much because of the scenario. So in this condition, do you still pick the tech or automobile industry, or what are your top bets that you would like to suggest?
So I would not like to give any stock specific information simply because I refrain from doing that on a public forum. But you can always use Shaspa to find out which stock among the sectors is performing. That apart, first and foremost, like Amolji said, that what could be the worst case scenario from here on? We are at 9,000 odd levels. We could, we could go down to 7,000, 6,000, 5,000 in the worst case scenario if a world war erupts. But from then on, for the next 3-5 years, you are going to have tremendous growth. So, right? The only place where I would like to differ with Amolji is Amolji said that this will be over in 2 months. I don't think.
No, I didn't say 2 months. In few months. Few months also say
in few months, yeah. So I think we are going to lose 2020 to Corona.
I personally have scrapped 2020 in my mind, and I've
in the diary. We all bought a diary when the year started, and now suddenly that diary has disappeared. But so growth opportunities are there. I would not like to name specific stocks, but like I said,
sorry to interrupt, sir.
But yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. If not stocks, if we are not switching to specific stocks, please you can you just stick to certain sectors that you would like to appoint right now in your portfolio, or anything
that would be even more worse.
Okay.
But as I said, you have online tools. For example, like I said, you can use Shaspa, of course. But you have online tools which do the job for you. And secondly, that you should never look for somebody's opinion. And the reason I refrain myself from talking stock specific is because I don't want you to follow my advice. You should not need my advice if you are a stock market trader or an investor. You should know yourself what to pick. And investors, I have this one complaint against investors, that we are just too lazy. We don't want to focus on our investments. We want to rely on somebody's opinion. And then when that crashes, we want to blame somebody for it. We don't want to take the blame also. So as I said earlier in the beginning of the session, you spend 10 hours earning money. I am requesting you spend 10 minutes educating yourself, empowering yourself, and being a smart investor.
That's so nice of you to guide, because everyone is curious. At the same time, everyone has mind swings where to go, what to invest. Do we suffer losses? Are we getting actual losses or notional losses? Because that was the point that I specified.
No, all losses are actual losses. There is no notional loss. Just because you haven't exited does not mean that the loss is notional. The loss is real. It has come in your Demat account, so it is real. Once it comes in your Demat account, it is real. It is not.
It is real. It is real. But still, you would suggest that stay invested. That's the conclusion, if I am not wrong.
No. Again, there cannot be a yes and no answer to that, because it would depend on what you have invested in. There are bad stocks in the stock market, and there are bad funds in the mutual fund. So if you are caught at the wrong side, like for example, if you are caught in a Yes Bank or a DHFL or an IIFL today, not IIFL, So you need to, whatever corrective action is required. But if you are saying that if you are caught in Reliance and Dr. Reddy and Pidilite, then you don't need to exit. So it is not a yes and no answer for anybody. It has to be specific to your portfolio.
Okay, sir. Sir, thank you so much for your mentorship, for your guidance, and clearing all our doubts.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
And Amol sir,
Yes.
learned so many skills from you in terms of investing and staying invested in mutual funds, so as to be, of course, long-term and future perspective-oriented person. And I loved the factors that you indicated in this session. So anything that you would like to end with on this note, Amol sir, so that we can have, of course, a safe play ahead in life in terms of market.
Yes, Gaurav. As I understand, there are more fresh investors on this forum right now. So I'll say for them, start early, don't waste time, start early, invest regularly, and most important is invest in the right asset class. That is very important. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'll also make sure that I'll follow the same footsteps that you suggested. And Pasin sir, would you like to suggest something on a closing note so that? And sir, a very important question for you. How can I forget it? आज का सिनेरियो देख के क्या लगता है आपको मार्केट कैसा है?
I am whenever somebody asks me this question, I am reminded of Sunny Deol in the movie Gadar, when he says that हिंदुस्तान जिंदाबाद था, जिंदाबाद है और जिंदाबाद रहेगा. तो वैसे ही मार्केट अच्छा था, अच्छा है और अच्छा रहेगा. आपकी मानसिक स्थिति क्या है? What is your mental balance? Are you in the right mental framework and the financial framework to start investing? And like Amolji said, there is no timing. Don't try to time the market. Whatever you do, whether you do mutual funds or stocks, it is important to start. Swimming के बारे में encyclopedia पढ़ने से कुछ नहीं होगा. Swimming pool में आपको jump करना पड़ेगा. वो आपको धक्का अपने आप को देना ही पड़ेगा. You will have to do that. So do that, and since you guys are young, if you would ever like me to conduct, like currently we are conducting a lot of free sessions for everybody. If you want us to conduct maybe an hour, couple of hours session for your participants, please let us know. We'll be happy to conduct a free session for all of you.
So thank you so much. And something, Amol sir and Pasin sir, of course I'm saying sir out of respect. Would you like to say something about the Panorama Investment, our company, so that we can also guide and influence people by such good experts? Anything that you would like to quote for us?
I'll say, as I said, this is the right time for investor to start investments. I'll say that this is the right time to start this business also. Okay. So all the best.
Thank
Keep
you.
doing. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Amol sir. Thank you. And Pasin sir, something for Panorama
So
Investment.
I have been conversing with Parth for a very, very long time now, and I have always found him to be a very straightforward and a soft-spoken person. And I am sure we have been associated not commercially, but as through our network we have been associated with each other. We know each other, and so I would just say keep up the good work. And once you have your business objective very clearly laid out in front of you, you just need to follow that objective. As a doctor, your objective is not to make money. Your objective is to be, I would say, use your skills for the benefit of others. So whatever your skills are, use them for the benefit of your clients, and I think the future is bright for all of us. So all the best to you, Gaurav. You've been a fantastic host. Thank you. Arjun and Parth, all the best to you all too.
Thank you so much for the both of you. I'd like to take this opportunity actually to thank all three of you. Thanks, Gaurav, also for moderating this very beautifully.
Thank you.
And I just like to tell an audience that we have a new fundraising masterclass coming up on 3rd of May. So if you have a startup who is looking to raise investment, so it will be a right opportunity for you to attend. And thanks a lot for the both of you, Amol sir and Pasin sir, for joining with us. And yes, of course, in our feedback form, we will be having the SHASPA link for the trial period. So you can definitely visit SHASPA. Also, we will be adding Pashan sir's and Amol sir's email ID to you. So if you need to connect with them in terms of mutual funds or any seminars that you want to conduct, or for guidance particularly regards to mutual fund or stock markets, you can reach them out directly. Not a problem. So thank you, Gaurav.
Okay.
Thank you, Pashan
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, Amol sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time and have a good time
Thank you
ahead.
to
in
all
Goa.
participants.
Thank you. And thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. Bye bye.